I guess I just got the music part going today. Good evening, everyone. This is People to People with Rodney Grimes. Here we are in the studio. You know how we do. I always come to you to give you some powerful information. So let me kind of come out of this music here real quick, and y'all bear with me. What is it? President Day? It's President Day, right? Yeah. So we doing what we do here and making it happen. And I got to get my guest flyer back up on here, and then we gonna talk some, because I got a young lady in here from Old Town Alexandria who's been doing some major things in her life, and all I can just say is, won't he do it? That's yeah, that's all I can say. When many people hear your story and things you've dealt with and how you moved and and where you are today. And with everybody out there, let me introduce Miss Penny Taylor. Hello.
How you doing?
So glad to have you in the studio today.
Glad to be here. Well, I am. I'm truly glad to be here.
Right. This is what we call Motivation Monday, and you're a motivated individual. So just tell a little bit about yourself. What you've been doing, and
Well, most of you guys know me from Old Town Alexandria. I've been working at Kaiser in Springfield for about 14 years. Come March 1st. My big step is I'm about to retire. March 9th is my last day.
Whoop, 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 whoop. Yep.
While being there, I received my bachelor's in criminal justice with a concentration of human service when I was 66. Yep, you can still go to school when you're old.
Come on.
And it was a struggle. It was a real struggle for me, because I'm used to being in a classroom and asking questions right away and getting my answers, but to be totally online and having to wait until a professor, so I struggled for a while, but I made it through. It took me 2 years, but I did it. My plan, because some of you know my story, some of you don't. I'm a recovering addict, 24 years clean from crack cocaine. And my goal is to speak to women about using. We as women most times think that in order for a man to love us, we got to do what he does. If we're depressed, we use. If someone hurts our feelings, we use. And I'm here to tell you that it's a better way to live. You don't have to do that. I did all those things, jumping from bed to bed, trying to find love, but only finding out that nobody loved me more than God and my mom and my daughter. I have to put my daughter in there, because without her pushing and at one time not talking to me, it hurt really bad. We had a big discussion on my 60th birthday, and she let out how she felt, how I had let her down, and how she was hurt because I wasn't there when things were happening to her. And it hurt me because I hurt her. So I had to apologize. I had to break down and apologize that it wasn't me, it was the addiction. I loved her. I was at her graduation. I was high, but I was there. I was a functioning addict. I went to work every day and got high every day. But today, that's not part of my life. I turned my life over to Christ, and that's who keeps me clean. I don't do meetings. Some people have to. I don't. I pray.
Yeah.
That's who got me clean. God got me clean.
Right, come on now.
And that's who's keeping me clean. I don't knock NA. Don't get me wrong, nobody. Don't bar me out. Don't call me, I don't knock it. Some people need that. I tried it. It didn't work for me.
Right.
God worked for me.
Right.
And I am so happy today. My life is so much better.
Yeah.
I love my life. I love living. I can live now. I travel, something that I've never done. I have a passport. It's just, I don't know, Rodney, it's just it's just a different life now. You know, I lived it, I've seen it. Now I want to help somebody else get where I am. That's just my main focus.
Well, basically, what I heard you just describe is that you're not letting life live you. You're living
I'm
life.
living life.
And that's what you've got to
Yeah,
do.
I'm living life. I've decided that that's what I need to do to be happy. Living life, praying every day. Something that I never did. Only prayed when I needed something.
Yeah,
But now I pray every day.
right.
Was never one that was into my word. But by having a daughter as a pastor,
Yes,
I learned how to read my word, not only just on Sundays, Bible study,
right.
but to pick it up when I needed something. Like, because anything that's going on in your life, you can find a solution in the Bible. It's there. You just got to read it. You can look it up. That's what the table of contents is for. It'll
Right.
tell you what to look for.
Yeah.
You know, but I am living a better life today.
Yeah, you're a strong woman, and I know you grew up. We grew up in the same town. I know what we was exposed to. One of the things that I would like many people to understand, and don't get to a point where you feel like because you used drugs or you had an addiction or something like that that you messed your life up. Some of us was exposed to these things in a situation where we thought this was the normal thing to do.
Yeah.
So, see, a lot of people may not understand this, and many of them that come on the People to People podcast, many of them, I'm sure people are saying, man, all of them had drug addiction? Did all of them? Well, let me tell you something. Back in the 60s and 70s, and especially when that crack hit, man, believe it or not, it was in everybody's neighborhood, house, and closet. And I'm not talking about just in the black neighborhoods. This was in everybody's, you know. And it's almost like the thing with that meth and and what's that that's going on that was killing people now? The fentanyl. But see, people got to understand that we have to be very, very conscious of the different things that come out in the street from certain directions for certain reasons.
Exactly. I totally agree.
And if you get to a point where you don't live life and let life live you, you'll end up using.
They get caught up. Definitely. It happened. That's what happened to me.
And so you know, we talked before. This is not your first time. This will not be your last. You know, we family. As far as we concerned, we family. And in Old Town Alexandria, that's what it's like.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we've seen a lot of people come through these struggles, but I'm just so proud of you that you're giving back. And just tell the guests a little bit about you know, a little bit about the past.
Okay, so I started using when I was 18 years old. The first drug that I picked up was heroin. I hung around older guys that were like my big brothers, and I would watch them. And it fascinated me because as soon as they injected themselves, they was high, and I was like, oh. I mean, they used to always tell me, if I catch you doing it, I'm going to beat you. And I'm like, but I'm grown. I can do what I want to do. And I tried it and got hooked really bad, really bad. I used drugs through all my pregnancies. And it was by the grace of God that nothing was wrong with any of my kids. That was God. That wasn't nothing that I did because I enjoyed what I was doing. And once my mom, God rest her soul, she took me at that time. It used to be Second Genesis down on
King Street, yes.
She took me there because I was tired. And she took me there and told them my daughter wants to get some help. And they told my mom that I wasn't sick enough. So you know my mama and her mouth. So she gave them a few harsh words. My mom took off from her job for a whole week and stayed with me while I kicked cold turkey. That's one reason why I loved that woman so much. She was a big enabler to me because she didn't want me to go out and do things, but she was there when I needed her. Now, I got clean from that, met a guy, and introduced me to crack cocaine. And I took off real hard and real fast. I did any and everything to get it. It didn't matter to me. I stole from my mama when I know I didn't have to. I found people's stash and hid for days until I smoked it up. There's many days that I should not have lived. But I always say, I know I should have died, but God had a reason for me to be here.
Come on now.
So I went through, I thought that I was going to die at 25 years old because I loved doing crack. I wasn't going to stop. I didn't want to stop. But I had a very special friend, and I can name her, and I'm sure she won't mind. Her name is Tanya Galloway. And she made me believe that I was somebody. And she helped me love myself because I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I loved crack. I didn't love me. I didn't love my family. I didn't love anybody.
Right.
I lost everything, and went into treatment because I did it for everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
I went to penitentiary. Wasn't thinking about getting clean while I was in. All I was thinking about when I got out, I was, healthy. And I said, I'm not carrying all this weight. I know how to get rid of it. So I wasn't ready. I didn't do it for me.
Right.
And until I decided that I fell on my knees one morning in my bathroom and I said, God, if you take this taste out of my mouth, I will never do it again.
Mm-hmm.
And it has been 24 years and I have not picked up a crack pipe. So there's no such thing as you can't.
Right.
You can if you want to. You have to want it for you. You can't get clean for anybody else. You have to get clean for yourself, and you have to ask God to give you the strength to do that. And I'm happy. My plans now, once I retire, not right away, because I'm going to do a little traveling, but I'm in the process of getting my license to be a certified substance abuse counselor assistant. I'm willing to go into detox centers. I'm willing to go into women's homes to talk. My focus is women and young people.
Yeah.
Because young people today, Rodney, it's sad that they are using heroin, teenagers. And this is an old people's drug, and they think that it's cool, and they're dying from fentanyl because they're buying stuff from offline and it's laced with fentanyl and they're ODing. And I just want the opportunity to tell them where I started and where I am, and then they can do it too.
We just had a young lady on the program this past Friday, and her name is Dr. Anna Ray. Please reach out to her.
I heard her.
Yeah.
I heard her, and when I was listening, I was like, I need to get in contact.
Right, because she's doing a lot of things, and she spoke highly about helping women, so I know that's where we want to go. But something that I would like for our listeners to understand as well, there are all kind of addictions.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just from drugs. We got addiction to stealing, lying, cheating, sex. It's all kind of addictions, and in the process of it, the way that you address these things is admitting that you have a problem.
That's that part.
Right. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a doctor, nothing, but I use common sense.
Yeah.
I don't care what your situation is. What I admire most about you, because I know your family, I know your daughter, not on a personal, but I know her because watching her grow up, and I hear she's a powerful minister.
Oh, most definitely.
And the things that I watch how you transitioned. Back in the day, you wouldn't be played with, for real. There wasn't many guys that would talk smack the penny, tell her not straight, I already know. You feel? Y'all can call it whatever you want, but I call her, she like an OG for real. But I'm just saying that because here now, every time I hear your voice, or I see you doing something, you're giving God the praise. You're praising your family, and let me tell you, no matter what happened in your past, you're a hell of an example for them today.
Yeah.
Because see, what you've shown them is this. I mean, for you to be all the way down, look where you are today. I mean, you went back and getting the degrees and going back and studying, and you doing purpose, and then you giving back. See, God has something for you. And let me tell you what was told to me. I was talking to someone, and they said the best experience is the one who went through it.
Exactly. The only reason I went to school for the substance abuse, I could have done it, but I had to get the book knowledge before I could even get the license. But nobody wants to sit and listen to a person who's reading stuff out of a book to them to tell them how to get clean if they haven't used their self.
Right.
So I know that I would be a good impact because I've lived what they're going through, and I know how to talk to them.
Yeah.
So I know that they would relate to me more.
Yeah.
Even though I've got degrees, but I am an ex-addict.
Yeah.
You know, I'm still in recovery. I'm in recovery every day.
One of the things, and I don't tell anybody not to do this, but one of the things I always put in my mind, my father was alcoholic, okay? I always said I never would be, and I'm not. And I don't have a drinking problem. Several people in my family were on drugs real heavy.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been addicted to the drugs, and I always put it in my mind like, I'm not going to do these things. I'm not going to let it get the best of me. Now, the reason why I said that is not to make me a superhero or anything, but when you realize that you want to have control of your life, you have to acknowledge these things mentally, because we struggle in several areas, and you struggle mentally, physically, and spiritually. And when you're struggling mentally, you're going to have some issues.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
So you got to, as you have proven with the spiritual part, because when you got down on your knees and asked God, it was the spirit that got you. The physical, you struggled with.
Yeah, I did. I struggled with it until I asked God for help.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't believe that I was ever going to be able to stop getting high.
Yeah.
You know, I did it for so long and didn't care about hurting anybody. And I don't know, but it was just one day, someone had came to my house and they wanted to get high. And I turned them away. And they was like, what? You don't want to get high today? And I was like, nah, I don't. And I left and went upstairs in my bathroom and I said, God, I don't want to do this no more.
Yeah.
I said, if you take the taste, you don't ever have to worry about it again. And it was gone. I mean, of course I relapsed once, but God knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, because he had to make sure
that you understood.
That I understood that it's him that's going to get me clean.
Yeah.
And it was once I was done, I was done. I've always said if somebody come up to me and now asked them giving me some crack, I'd probably bust them in the face. I mean, I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
Because that drug took me where I didn't want to be.
Yeah. We as individuals in this country are exposed to a lot of pressure. Let's not just make it about race, but I'm talking about the human race itself, the human being. And many times what we do is we'll find ourselves exposed to different things, and we try to medicate it with the drugs. When we think in our mind that we're strong enough to overpower it, you know, and, oh, I'm not going to get hooked, or it's not going to do this to me, Ben. I always told many people, young guys, I always say, I want you to show me one real successful junkie. Just show me one. Because I'm going to tell you something, he may be at a certain level, but if he's using any type of drug or alcohol, he's not going to be able to stay there. He's going to fall. But to the guests, what I would like for people to know is this. Ms. Penny is an individual who has always shared her story and been straightforward to a point to say, hey, this is who I was, and she said, this is where I was, and this is where I am today. Come on. Y'all don't even understand. I'm trying to tell you, that was, I was so excited when I was thinking about that. I was like, you know, I'm just so proud of you.
Thank you.
Really. I'm really proud. And under no circumstances, I don't care how bad it gets, sometimes what you have to do is you just have to learn to love you.
That was it. I didn't love myself.
Yeah.
And I had to have somebody to tell me that I was worth loving.
Mm-hmm.
And made me realize that I'm here for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, I know my kids love me. I know my mom loved me. But I gotta love me.
Yeah.
And once I started loving me and caring about me, then I knew it was nowhere for me to go but up.
And a lot of people have to get to that point where they got to know loving yourself first is the first thing to any type of recovery.
Exactly.
You got to
do it
learn.
for anybody
Yeah,
else,
you can't do it
because
for
you'll never stop.
Right.
You got to do it for you. You got to be sick and tired, as they say.
Yeah.
Sick and tired of
Being sick and tired.
You know, you got to be ready.
Yeah.
It's not, you know, you can stop for your kids like I did. I stopped for my kids, stopped for about a year, and then I was like, I'm going back get high because I was not ready to stop.
Right.
You won't stop until you do it for yourself.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line.
So with somebody out there right now, somebody out there that's struggling, not with a drug problem, but any problem, what would be, is it some steps that you would recommend?
The only thing I would tell anybody out there that's struggling with anything, think of yourself first. You come first. Yeah, you love your kids and your family, but if you don't love you, then you're not going to get out of what it is that you're in. So you got to love yourself first. And that's it. I mean, love you. You're worth loving, because if you wasn't, God would still have you here.
That's right. What we want to do is I'm going to put the number out. The number, if you wanted to call into the studio and ask some questions for Miss Taylor, is 703-752-6120. It's 703-752-6120. I know it's some individuals out there, you may be struggling with some situations. This is what the program is about. We're talking about moving forward. We're talking about being a positive influence in our community. People to people, power to power, positive thinking people. As all the guests that come on, I say come on and tell your story. We had Miss Penny on a few years ago, and we must have got at least 2,100 hits. Yeah. And it was amazing how many people were so inspired by you sharing the story then. And I remember that, and, and I was just thinking, and that's what I do sometimes when I be struggling. I'm going through some issues in my life now. What I do is I try to find my way to first admit that there are issues, and then try not to beat myself up about them. Because when I beat myself up about them, I give in.
Yeah.
Have you ever dealt with the thought of suicide?
Yeah. I attempted. I was 7 months pregnant with my twins. And I jumped out a second-story window. And all I got was a scratch. And at that time, I didn't know why I survived it, and my kids were okay. But now I know that it was God, because He wasn't ready for me to die. You know, I've taken pills, and I've done all of that. You know, because after a while, you get high so much that you don't get high, and you're like, why am I living?
Yeah.
Why am I still here? Why don't I just end it? I'm making everybody angry. Nobody loves me. You know, I don't love myself, so...
Pity party.
Yeah, why do I need to be here?
Yeah.
You know, so... And that, just like I said, I mean, I've done it all, but God said no.
Yeah. And the reason why I asked that, because, a lot of people whom get to certain levels of depression and struggle on a mental level and not know how to come out of things, they think that suicide is the answer when it's not. I don't think that it's really a person on this earth that really want to die.
No.
I don't believe that. I believe that, for real, I believe that when we love ourselves first, but have God, have God in the midst of it, excuse me, we have God in the midst of it, I look at all the beautiful things that God gave us. You know, from the very beginning, from the flowers, the trees, from the different seasons, from the different type of animals. I'm talking about if you go to that level of life and start to really look at it, suicide ain't the answer.
Exactly.
It's living life.
Exactly. And let me say this, Rodney. You know, people that go through depression, a lot of people will say, and I get this from my daughter, and she says it so much. She said, "You can pray, but God gave you common sense. Get some help.
Yeah.
Take God to the couch. Go to a counselor.
Yeah.
Go talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of things, and I have not, but I need to, because I got a lot of things on the inside that I need to get out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay. Now I know it's okay. I can go and lay on a couch and tell somebody that doesn't know me.
Yeah.
So I can get it out. But it's okay. Take God to the couch with you. He wants you to pray. You know, it's okay to pray. But he gave you common sense. So
Yeah.
get you some help.
You got to do something with the
You
prayer.
got to do something with it.
Me and Dr. Anna Ray, we spoke on some of those things when she was on the program, and she was saying about, you know, reaching out. I had several people. I had Horace Williams on the program. Him and Maria Price, and they was talking about, you know, the situations. With the prayer, that's one thing, but you gotta put that work in. So, you know, again, to everyone that's going to see this program, this is all about you trying to move forward. Put yourself in a position where you believe in you first, that you have a purpose. Understand your purpose, and if you don't know your purpose, pray for it. God will reveal it. Sometimes in your struggles, God is not putting you through it, because that's something that we have a bad habit of say, oh, God punishing me.
Yeah.
God don't punish us. He don't punish you. You punish yourself. Right? God love is that agape love. He loves you unconditionally. We could go back to God 1,000 times, and this is the one thing that really gets me, us as humans. We keep going back over and over and over.
This time, I promise I won't do it more.
Yeah. And we go right back and do the same thing.
Same prayer. God, if you get me out of this time, I promise I won't do it no more.
But when we realize that all we're doing is lying to ourselves, and it's not God to do it. You know, something else that somebody told me that I found that was really profound. We have a tendency to blame the devil for everything. Easy way out.
Of course.
Oh, the devil made me do it.
Of course.
But God gave us common sense.
That part. Yeah. Right. The devil didn't make you do nothing. You did it because you wanted to do it. You know, so you can't blame anybody but yourself. You can't put the blame on anybody else until you realize that you're the problem. You're not going to get help.
Do you have someone that is like a hero to you?
I do. It's my daughter. My daughter is my hero. My daughter went through my struggle with me. She saw it. She saved my life. There's a story she shares a lot, and I share it sometimes. She was like 6 years old. My Aunt Lorraine lived on Queen Street. My mama was staying there. And you know about the Tom Thumb wedding at the Baptist churches. So she was the queen. She got her hair done. And she wanted her mama to see her hair. She came across the street from the beauty shop, and she says, "Where's my mom?" And my mother says, she upstairs. So she goes upstairs. And she finds me in the bathroom, slumped over with a hype in my arm. At 6, she pulled it out, and she slid down the steps. Now, she could have killed herself, because that hype could have went in her. She slid down the steps, and she screamed. She's like, "My mom is dead. My mom's dead." Ambulance call came, and my daughter tells it all the time. She said, "That is when I learned how to pray." She said, "I prayed to God, please don't let my mama die." And she said, I thought my mama was dead. And she said the next morning she woke up, and I was in the bathroom like nothing had happened. And she said, that's when I knew it was a God. You know, so she's my hero. I mean, she's my pastor. She has taught me how to talk to God. Mm-hmm. She has taught me how to read the Bible, something on a daily, something that I never did. So my hero is my daughter. She is. and I love her more than life.
I know you do.
I do.
I know also you have a grandson that you were talking about that's doing very well, right?
Her son.
Her son.
Shaquille. Yeah, he's doing very good. He paints, he paints. And I have a grandson that is my grandson and will always be his name is Malachi Galloway. He's a phenomenal young man. I'm so proud for him to call me grandma. When somebody loves you that much, to accept you as their grandma, and he shares everything with me, and I love him. And his mom, Tony Galloway, is the best mom ever. He does everything. He's in music. He sings. He's in college. He works full time. He's never done drugs. He's never drank. He's never done any of that. So he's a big part of my life too. He calls me and is like, Grandma, I just want to let you know, don't let nobody shake your foundation today. And I'll be like, wow. So he's a very, very powerful young man. But I have a lot of family members that knew my struggle, and now are proud of where I am.
Yeah.
I'm in a process. I started it, and when I was working and going to school, I stopped. I'm in the process of writing a book.
Okay.
And now I have time to finish it. So it's coming, and it's starting back when I was like 6 up to present time. So it's coming, y'all.
Well, that's going to be a powerful book because I know you have a story to tell. We grew up in the same area. Some of the things that we had to be exposed to, I'm gonna take us back a little bit on Queen Street. Mm-hmm. Queen Street, you could go there and get anything you want.
Anything.
Yeah, and people didn't know that in Alexandria on that street, it was like from West Street, up to Columbus, right? Mm-hmm. Now on that street, mm-hmm. you can go to different parts of the city, the Bird, mm-hmm. The whole Cameron Valley, South Side, Uptown. Mm-hmm. Okay, but Queen Street back in the day,
it had everything you needed.
I remember as a little boy, I snuck up there one time. And I don't know which one of my cousins saw me, and he was like, "Boy, what you doing up here?" And I just wanted to go up there to see all that. Yeah, because on Friday night, it was like being in Hollywood.
Yeah. There were, what you call them, they called them...
Skin joints.
Bootleg
houses.
People went in, they had jukeboxes in there. You went in, you buy your wine, you sit and you chill. There was a lot of stuff on Queen Street.
Yeah.
From one end to
the other.
Yeah.
You could even get chicken dinners.
Of course. And then there was Sargent's. Everybody went to Sargent's. On Friday night, that was the spot to be.
Yeah.
I snuck in there a lot. I wasn't supposed to be in there, but he knew my mom, and I'm like, "Don't tell my mom I'm in here." But yeah.
And
you look out there. It was. We got a question.
Well, we got some comments and questions. Maria Price says, "Good evening, Zena, Rodney, and Penny." She says, Horace William is in the house. Shout to my homie Penny Teller. Love her to death.
Yeah, that's my big brother.
And Diane Carter, blessings to you, sister. I truly appreciate and admire you. You just told part of my story and struggle. And Rachel Pope says, good evening. Dana Carter says, love you, Penny. Demetria Good says, very deep. And she says hers too. God bless you, Queen. Queen Street was jumping. The Candy Lady.
That was really. But and just a few of those individuals who just spoke out. I have so much love and respect for all of you. And I get this little feeling in my stomach. I feel a little emotion of this pride. Because I may haven't struggled at the level that you did, but you helped me to go through my struggle today. When I think about you, every time you talk to me, since I've even been doing production, you always encourage us. You always, man, we appreciate you so much, sweetie.
I love you guys so much.
Yeah, and we thank you for that. And don't think that we don't pay attention. Because I know every time I see you, I'm just so proud of you. I just feel that love and respect from Dana Carter, who just sent out a message, Horace Williams. Let me tell you something. All of these individuals I saw when I was coming up. Now, me and Maria, we were just talking the other day, and I can't wait to get her on here, because let me tell you something. When Maria started telling me about her story, I was shocked. Because she shocked me, but it's just what really gets me is just to see y'all today, and y'all so passionate about y'all level of giving back.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's all I want to do. I just want to help somebody get where I am.
I can't wait, and I'm asking, and this is in my prayer, that one day soon I'm going to have a round table. Hopefully it'll be done here in the big conference room I showed you. And I can have, we're going to have all of us in that one room. And they can see the power and the blessing of God.
Yeah.
They can see the power that we possess through him, but yet not just because of him, but because of the strength that you had in yourself.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which is important. Because a lot of y'all are walking testimonies.
Definitely. I know I am. Yeah, I am.
How do you feel about the situation in Alexandria now that it's not, so, I don't know.
It's not so friendly anymore.
Yeah. Okay.
I can say that. You walk in old neighborhoods and it's changed.
Yeah.
I enjoyed walking down Queen Street and seeing somebody that I knew. We could stop and kick it for a while, but there's nobody there.
Yeah.
Everything has changed, and some people are still there, but it's just not. It's not like it used to be a family.
Yeah.
It was a family. That was our family.
Family. Yes.
That we went there. We was comfortable.
Yeah.
I'm not. I can go now anywhere and I'm okay, but. There's some people that walk, they be like, man, this ain't the same,
Yeah.
Queen Street ain't Queen Street.
But I'm talking about Alexandria itself, because for real, when we think back in the day, we talking back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, 80s. Let me tell you something. Alexandria, in the whole, the whole thing was just a big family. So everywhere you went, somebody knew you.
Yeah. Or they knew your mama.
Oh, they knew your mama.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, if you needed a ride, if you was walking, they'd pull over and pick you up.
You can't do that now.
You can't do it. Or people see you. They didn't have to ask. You didn't really have, back in that day, you didn't have to ask for $1 because they would offer it to you. I don't care what it was. If you was eating some chicken. Hello, caller. State your name and where you calling from.
Hi, it's Demetria Good. I'm in Clinton, Maryland.
Hello. How you doing, Miss Demetrius? How's everything?
Everything's good. I got a question for you, too. I also dropped a question in the chat. Y'all can answer that when I finish. If I have to ask the question. We see the difference in Alexandria off King Street. I had family that used to live over there, too. Do you think we as people caused the change in the neighborhood?
No, we didn't make the change. It's the migrations of other people that made the change. Because if
we allow people to come in.
Huh?
I ask that because I feel like sometimes we allow people to come in because we don't take care of, our community. So, since y'all from the older you a little older than me, that's how we see it. But do y'all think that's part of it, not taking care of our community?
Well, you answer that, Penny.
I can say that's part of it, yeah, because
okay.
We did, not me per se, but there were people that didn't respect our community, and
okay.
They did allow people to come in and push us out. We could have done things differently and kept our community the way it was. They've moved out. So many black-owned businesses have moved out, and that was because we didn't force the issue to keep our stuff there. So.
And if I may add to that as well, part of the things is this: if you don't know, you don't know. So you got to look back when the generation that was before us, in our generation, because I was born in 1960. So back then, our parents, they didn't really understand the process of purchasing property.
Right.
That wasn't something that was really targeted in our area. Now, yes, we see the results of it now because half of us don't own nothing.
Right.
So that's the bad part. So that's where we messed up at. But if you don't know, you don't know. And so we look at the generations now, we just getting to the point where we're starting to talk to our children and our grandchildren and telling them about investing in properties and investing in yourselves. But you're right, Demetrius. A lot of it really, if we really look at it though, you look in the mirror, you kind of have to take the responsibility and say, we allowed it.
Yeah, because how I look at it is, I think, during that time, the drug pandemic took over, and for those that even own the property, if something happened to their parents or if they were in control, they sold a lot of the properties to feed their addictions, which started to destroy our communities, So
Yeah.
that's why I ask. I like to get different perspectives on it, but, I think, a lot of the black communities are set up to be destroyed, and we destroy each other, so...
Well, and what you're saying is true. But see, one of the things that's where we are in this struggle today with these young kids, the younger generation. So
Agreed.
what we have to do is we have to start to do things like even with Ms. Taylor just said, she's going to be one to assist them in the process of saying, hey, this is where we are. These are the tools that'll help you. I've been there, done that. Now let me show you. You know what I mean? And education, to educating the young people so that they can know how to go about these things. And if I may ask, so even with you, how do you feel like in your time right now? Because do you feel like that you let things happen, or did it just happen to you?
You talking about in the community or?
No, in the community, wherever you grew up at, was it just a part?
Well, I feel like this. I feel like, in a whole, I feel like we have, and not me because, I like sharing resources and connecting.
Right.
I think most races, they connect, they share resources, they help each other grow. But some way people have embedded in the black community that we should be envious or jealous of each other and fight each other.
Oh, come on.
You said something, sister.
Like I tell people when I have these conversations now, and people get upset at me, but we got to keep it real, right?
Yeah.
There's the justice of don't kill us, right? But in reality, if people see us not respecting each other and killing us, do you think they're going to care? So it starts with ourselves. It's like, look at yourself in the mirror and stop harming your brother or stop harming
Come
your
on.
sister.
You speaking,
and let's
sister.
start working together
Yes.
to elevate and to grow. Right?
Yes.
Because even for me, I've been good to a lot of people, right?
Right.
But when I started my stuff and I got out there and sharing my life experiences, like, dang, why you not supporting me? I was good, God, I didn't do no wrong, and I'm apologizing for everything that I've done. I'm healing, right? So it's like, why won't we support each other? But then if I support you, you don't want to support another business or you don't want to support me. So why should I support you or anybody support you when you're not bringing this connections like the Asians, the Spanish, Caucasians, everybody working together but us? And we shaming ourselves,
It's
right?
jealousy.
We shaming ourselves because it is so many brilliant and talented black brothers and sisters. We like the smartest. Statistics have proven that. But they have taught us to go against each other. And I don't want to go against nobody. I'm just, from y'all's view, just what I said, what can you say to the young community from the older community opportunity of connecting and bonding and helping each other, do wonderful things.
Well, one of the things that here at People to People, and that's why I bring on individuals to come on and talk about their situations, so that we can have different people out there to understand that there's a need for change, and we have to learn how you learn bad behavior. So you learn racism. You're not born with it. These things you learn,
I agree.
right?
Yeah, I agree.
So what we have to do is we have to re-educate ourselves and get to a point where we learn how to work as a unit and not work as individuals. And as you said, it starts with people like you. It starts with people like you. You got to continue to keep moving. Don't let nobody change your spirit. That's the one thing that I think that everybody have to be conscious about. No matter how negative the people around you are, keep fighting.
Yeah.
Keep fighting.
There you go, right there.
That part, yeah.
But in order to have unity, we have to respect one another. So we have to stop killing each other. We have to learn. Sorry, that was my dog playing with a toy. We have to learn to respect each other. We have to learn how to uplift each other. Killing is not the answer. Like, how do we tell people, y'all from a later generation, that getting therapy is okay? Because during y'all time, it was taught not to go to therapy. So how do y'all help, in the older generation, bring awareness? Like, we were taught that, but guess what? If I would have known when I know now, I would have got therapy. So I recommend you get therapy.
Well, hey, we thank you for calling. And I got to do the shout out because Mr. Demetrius she has a podcast. She has a program. It's called the Good Fight. Actually, that's her logo in the corner right there. She's an individual who is out here doing things. She's making a difference in the community.
I love it.
And
a black sister. I love it.
oh yeah. And I mean, and so she's one that's making a change. But like I was saying with you, Penny, as well, here you are getting ready to become this substance abuse counselor. Do you know how many people need that? How many people are going to be able to relate to you? And you know something? Sometimes it's different, like when you say if you get that book knowledge, but when you know from experience, that's what makes a difference. Demetrius, thank you, darling, for calling in, sweetie.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to say thank you, Queen. Your story is going to touch so many.
Thank you, love.
And you're doing beautiful things, and I just hope you touch so many hearts to just start the journey of health just like you.
Thank you so
I
much.
love you.
Thank you.
Man, that's powerful. What you got?
All right, Dimitri also
All right,
has
I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Okay.
Dimitri also has a question. She says, can she tell everyone some of her methods she used to heal?
My methods that I use to heal. What I used to heal was first started to love myself. Asking God for forgiveness because from what I felt, I had let him down because he saved my life so many times and I continue to do the same thing. So first I had to forgive myself for what I was doing to me.
Right.
And once I start doing that and asking God to show me how to love me, then my healing began.
Yeah.
Because my healing didn't begin until I started to love myself.
Right.
And that part took a while. It took work because for a long time, like I said, I didn't love myself. So I had to ask God for forgiveness for me not loving me. And when I started loving me is when I started to heal.
And I think on many cases, that's what anybody, if you want to start a process of moving forward, what you have to do, you have to start with yourself.
Start with you.
And we have a program that's called Man in the Mirror that comes on every last Thursday of the month. Guess what? Reason why that program is called Man in the Mirror, you got to start with that person. That person that's with you. And so it's something you have to do. But I can say this. God is good. And God is, he is forgiving. And if you practice to walk in God's image, then you'll start to find your way to be able to forgive yourself and forgive those around you.
Yeah, I don't dot on my I's and cross on my T's. I make mistakes, but I know when my mistakes are made, and I ask God to help me to not make the same one. So yeah, you gotta look inside yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I shout out to some cousins that I had, right? That was out there. I don't know what happened with them, but a lot of them never brought no drugs to me. And that was one of the things that I thought was so powerful.
Yeah.
And I was
They didn't want you to go down the same road that they were going down. They loved you enough.
yeah, and I won't call their names or nothing like that, but I don't know. It is not going to the other one or something. Try it. Do the 2. Do 3. I don't know why I did that. Just let it sit for a minute. Yeah, so it's something, how things happen. Hit your one of your buttons over there. I'm gonna try something. Let me see something. I don't know why that, yeah. So the camera, I don't know why I did that. Let me try something. So that I'm going to do something, and no, that's not it. Just bear with me just a minute. Everything. It's still alive. I don't know why I did that. That's one. I don't know. That's never did that before. Okay. All right. So this is one. I'm going to move that over here and let that finish this out. But I put when I switch this, hold on a second. Let me try one more thing. Hold on. Y'all just bear with me, I don't know. That's Satan. Well, here I go. I'm going to blame it on Satan. I don't even know what that's about.
Somebody needs to hear what's about to be said.
Yeah. I don't know. Try 2. Hit 1. Hit 1. Okay.
It's
Well, we're going to leave it right there.
Yes.
And so, let me see something. I know how to do it. See, I don't let nothing beat me. So, hold on. We just going to do it just like this. We're going to do it just like this. I don't know what that was. I don't know what
Just sit right here, bro.
Okay.
Just sit right here.
Let me see.
Sit
So,
right here.
how about that?
Yeah.
No. You know, I'm gonna let Penny's gonna take it. She's gonna talk the rest of the program, and I want you to go ahead. Just keep talking, Penny. I want you to talk about what you've been going through. Just talk about the program that you're setting up, and let me figure out what happened.
Well, all I can say, folks, is my plan. Once I retire, I'm going to rest for a little while, but I want to reach out to some people who will allow me to come into their women facilities, detox, be it jails, whatever, and share my hope with somebody to help them live a better life. If I can do it, anybody can do it. I always say that. Somebody who thought that they never would, did. And if I can, you can as well.
Oh, I know why. I'm sorry. I see exactly what happened. Guess what?
Just
There you go. That's it. Okay. Here you go. That's it. All right. You know what happened?
that's all right. Just
Okay. Wait a minute. Let me get it back. I want to get it back. I need to get it back like it was. I'm sorry.
There you go.
There you go. There you go.
There it is.
You know what happened? Actually, the power. It was the power. So, my apologies. Here we go. I mean, this one thing after another. But for everybody that was joined in, y'all stay with us. Stay with us. I tell you, it was actually the power over here. It went up. So we back still. My guest today is Miss Penny Taylor. Penny has really moved forward in her life with so much. And as we always do, we like to come through and give you positive energy. We wanted to come to you and tell you you can overcome anything. So Penny, we got 5 minutes. I'd like you to carry us out and talk about what you plan on doing and give some personal advice.
All I can say to everybody is, first of all, I always extend myself like this. If there's anybody that needs to talk about anything that they're going through, I can be reached on Facebook. I will answer you. If anything I can help you with, I don't have a problem with it. If it's something that you don't think that you can talk to anybody else about, and if it's something that I've shared tonight that you've been through and you need to talk about it, I'm available. I just want to be out here to help somebody live a better life and do what they want to do in life.
Well, me personally, I'm like this. Through life is struggles. Give you a prime example even just now. Things that happen you don't anticipate. And what you do is you just got to keep moving forward. Here at the People to People studio, we've been growing. We trying to get like CBS and ABC and BET and everybody that doing some stuff. We trying to get there. But one of the things that I continue to say to myself, no matter what, I'm going to keep doing what I do because I love it. I love me. I love the fact that God has put me in a position. We find ourselves on many journeys that things going to happen to discourage you, and it's just life itself, and you can't let it beat you. You know, even like I said, I done came out last week. I came out after struggling. I had my mom with us, and we taking care of my mother. My mother is struggling with a cancer called myeloma, And it was something for me to see that. So I said all that to say that I came out to go to work, and the tire was flat on the car. And immediately I was like, what else can go wrong? Because I was going through this little struggle. Reason why I'm sharing this is because every time that you move forward, it's going to be those stop signs and those stop lights and stumbling blocks and things going to happen, and you got to just keep going. I jumped on the subway, got on the train, and the young boys was fighting. Went to work. I realized during that time I was exhausted. But the whole time I was thinking about it, I was just thinking about also how blessed I was. You know, that I still got an opportunity to make a difference. And I'm a fighter. So I say that to you, and everyone's watching. Yo, you're going to run into it. It's not easy doing what we do. I'm talking about being counselors, being promoters, being, I'm talking about whatever job you do. It's not easy when you got to put that work in. And it's not all the time going to go the way you want it, but you just got to keep fighting. I want to thank you for coming in and being with us. Thank you so much. Yeah.
I appreciate you asking me.
Yeah, and this is not your last time. You'll be back again, and people are going to see that we keep it moving. We keep it moving. So, you know, if you have a story to tell, you got a business you want to promote, you let us know, and we're going to keep it pushing, and we're going to support you, and that's what we're trying to do here at People to People. I thank you so much, Penny.
Thank you.
I love you. I love you so much. You're an amazing woman.
Thank you.
Yes. So I guess what I'm going to try to do is take us out with a little of that beautiful music that I'll be playing. People just don't know. That song kind of gives me a jump start to have me to keep moving forward and know that it's all going to work itself out, you know. So, y'all tune in. Be happy, safe. I love you. Know that God got you. Won't he do it?
Won't he do it?
It's People to People, the People podcast of the DMV. It's not about you. It's not about me. It's about we.
Oh, Lord, I tell you, the struggle,
And Lady Z.
it never stops.
PTP.
Positive thinking people. Positive thinking people. PTP. Positive thinking people. Every Monday night. Keep it close to you. Friday. Wednesday. Monday. People to people, power to power, positive thinking people.